Hi, I'm Spade and welcome to my second video. Firstly, I want to thank you everyone on the support from the first video, and now I think we should move onwards with the second video. So, just to let you know something, I will try to do this on one go. So, if something happens, I don't know, if you hear something in my room or if anything happens, it's live. We go onwards. I do it in one go, like it should be. Yeah. And now, to the most important topic of them all, and the only reason I am here where I stand now, the sole reason everything changes after one achieves this state of mind, is why? The only never ending question. And what I mean about why, you may ask, this is not meant like a schizophrenic why, questioning everything around yourself and having doubts about anything. On the contrary, questioning why in this case is meant to understand yourself and everything around you so one can achieve a better vision on itself and improve himself. But before we go deeper, there are some key factors to understand, and we are going to speak about them now. First comes the absolute truth. You, as an individual, know everything you done. Each action and decision you took were taken by you with a reason. And that reason is the aftermath of the question why, because an action without a reason doesn't exist. Nothing happens without a reason. Example would be we live in order to experience stuff. The universe exists in order to one day collapse and start again. Shortly, any coin has two faces action and reason. And I am 100% sure that once in your life you question someone, why did they done something? And they told you, I don't know, or just because. Or maybe you were on the responsive side and you gave the other person such a blank answer. In truth, such response is a lie and an instability to accept one's mistakes and reasons. And now a short pause to breathe. To breathe, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so second key factor is you are not who you think you are. You are what your actions predict you to be. Thinking and doing are connected. First comes thinking, then action based on that thought. But it is very important to understand that you are not what you think to be. You are what you choose to be. You are in the way you act, not in the way you think. And the best example would be you being hard on yourself because you had once a bad thought about something. But that's the catch. You only thought about it. You didn't do the thing, you thought. So the action never happened. Therefore, you are not what you thought you are. Thinking is dangerous when you connect it with emotions, object, movement, places, or people. Because your brain builds neuron connections which react automatically when put before the said trigger. Example would be sorry. Think about a park in which you once had a bad interaction. Every time you go through a park and start to think about where you are or what you do, your brain will automatically trigger said emotions. This might be a survival adaptation because if you have a bad feeling about something you thought, there are surely less chances of you doing that said action. So in theory, you would not repeat said action, so you live onwards. But this is just some deep thinking and a theory of mine. If it's really like that, I don't know. I just think that's my stuff. And the third factor is logic equals emotions. But now I have to take a pause because I got a breathe. Too much speaking. I speak for 3 minutes and something cut. Yeah, besser. So, yeah, that was German. And the third factor is logic equals emotions. Many think that logic and emotions are two separate entities because acting on emotion is a passive response of a trigger from before. Example, when you're angry at something and you react in an aggressive way, would be a passive emotional reaction, while logic is an active response to a trigger. Example, you having to choose which one of the two elements in your chemistry class has a lower chance of killing you, which is an active logic decision, because logic is just the outcome with the lowest possibility of failure or chaos. And at this point, the majority thinks that logic and emotions are at the separate ends of the spectrum. But this is false, because the spectrum is not a straight line. Logic is just the outcome with most reasoning and least possibility to failure. Therefore, logic is based on comfort, and comfort is based on safetyness, because you cannot be comfortable if you are not safe. Yeah, logic. Yeah. So, reacting with reason and logic is just reacting in a safe manner. And now that we all have this behind, we can focus on the main part, mainly the question why. If I breathe in the microphone, I'm sorry, it's just I see too close. Happens. That's why. God. Why is indeed the best question ever and holds utmost truth. No matter the situation, why can be used on yourself or on others, why can be used to train your mental capacity, why is responsible for a large imagination spectrum, why spreads curiosity, why makes you literally smarter. Also, a thing I personally cannot accept is a command without an explanation. Example would be workplace or school. Doing something unknowingly without a reason is like running in the dark with no light. You know, when someone tells you something to do something and they don't reason why, they don't explain you why, just say to do something. I can't understand that, because you can't do something you don't want to because you don't know why for. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. I'm sometimes special. Sometimes. So, back to the topic. The power of why ignites your nerves and synapses, that's biology, into thinking and not just reacting based on instincts as you do for some part of the day. And we will also talk about instincts against thoughts, but in another video. Precisely why should you firstly be used on yourself to understand yourself better? Why you do the things you do on daily basis? Why do you do the things you hate on daily basis? Why don't you do the things you want to do on daily basis? And so on. After you understand your motivation and accept who you are and what you want to be, you can use why on others. Putting yourself in their shoes or persona and start to understand their motivations and vision. A conversation can be forever driven as much as a question why, as as an individual questions why. Why also shows. God damn, my English is bad right now. Why also shows sympathy, because only one who cares can ask why, and the only one. Okay, now, you know what? I give up. I just need a pause, like some minutes, like shubudubabi berry. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Back on. So, where was it? Yeah, that. Yeah, that. So, and the ones who turn aggressive or can't answer are either in a bad mood or emotionally immature. Yeah. So, why is a weapon? Why should be used to understand more of this world, to build deeper connections and to understand yourself better. Why is curiosity, while why is also unknown? Why is fear, while also sorrow? Shortly, why is the god of questions, and that's why I will let you yourself build the meaning of why in your life as I builded mine. And now to the final part. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit longer, but it has a lot of information and deep meaning for me. If you find this video interesting and want to help others while also helping and supporting me, you could share this video and like and subscribe, but only if you want to. Because in the end, you should ask yourself, why should you help me? Till next time, my friends.